I was told what won't fall won't be. Ran out of money, I swear I don't know what to do again. Hey y'all, I'm back again, fully charged. Part 2 of today. Chris B hollering at you. From my folks at home, from my friends that at home, lost their jobs, taking care of the children, trying to figure this thing out, I'm just here with you and for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, no other agenda other than that, I find this time very peaceful for me also, to be able to sit here, getting me some sun, and I forgot, I went and got me some. See what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? Right? Because I need that vitamin C up in my butt. I need some oranges. Not oranges, but some oranges. Right? Because I am from Decatur. And, but more importantly, I got a few bags of my favorite sweet taters. Okay? Sweet taters. Y'all know how I love my sweet taters. I'll put a little ranch, do a little dipping. What? I'm in heaven, man. I'm in heaven. Want to come back and finish up a little conversation we had earlier. A couple of points I just want y'all to be able to be on the lookout. I'm your boy with information. You know what I mean? Start to look towards the future if we go any further than what we're going now with this pandemic and being at home, is the food supply. I posted on my page how, they're sort of throwing out like a little warning, because people are, because people are catching the virus, the migrant workers from Mexico who we try to build a wall for, the one who keeps the food in the stores, and those foods in the stores in our belly. We're trying to put up a wall, because a lot of them are undocumented, and we're feeding off of their labor. And of course, we know that the present administration wants to get these people out of here. Now, my question, who gonna pick the fruit? Who's gonna pick the vegetables and stuff? You know what I mean? Who gonna do that? And, if we're gonna do it, I'm sure that's fine, under the conditions that these people work. I think that Americans are a little bit too spoiled right now. And you know what? Never know. They might get prisoners to do it. No, in America, they'll find a way to do. Hopefully, I can't say hopefully. That I don't know, man. I don't know. But they're having a problem with the Mexicans and the people working and picking up food. It's starting to ravage them. They're coming down with it, and they don't have insurance, and we pay them hardly anything, and but we still want our food, don't we? Yeah, we still want our food, and the people that we trying to hurt, put them in internment camps, treat them like Jewish people, like they were in the Holocaust, or slaves. That's who we treat. That's who America is. Go America. I guess that's right, because so many of the people praise what the present administration is doing. And hey, Jack King, Ray Virgin, what's up, my brother? Jewel Gray, hey Jewel. Sheila Hooker, what's going on? Jeanette O'Donnell, hey darling. So I just want to give sort of like a SOS that we might see some shortages in the stores, and know where it's coming from. Also, because of lack of demand, because people losing their job and so forth like that. Farmers are now finding it necessary to destroy crops, right? And I saw that today. You know, squash and cucumber, the demand is not there. You know, because people losing their jobs, you know, they're gonna buy the food and so forth. So they're destroying food because of this, and that's deep. You know what I mean? That's deep. So hopefully this doesn't go too long, but if so, I had some people that hit on my line in their backyard, how they're growing their own vegetables, right? They put up these like boxes, and you know, they plant this stuff, sort of like what Michelle Obama was doing before, you know, the teaching people to do, so that the children can have, you know, and get that produce into the schools, and for the kids to eat healthy. And of course, the present administration cut that right out. They want them to eat, you know, fast food stuff, pizza and hamburgers and stuff like that. That's what our, hey Bobby, what's up, schoolmate? That's what our present administration wants to push. You know, the same diet the president eats, which will have deleterious effects on our children. Isn't that great? Make America great again. That's something else. I really don't understand what the truck is going on. I really don't. I really don't. It's like it's an onslaught on us. But we have to now change the narrative. Okay, we have to change the narrative. And you know, it's great talking about things that are funny, and you know, we show us stuff fighting and arguing and busting each other in the head with the rock. That's great viewing. You know, it gets lots of views. 1.2 million, 3 million, 4 million, right? But I think we have to change the narrative now. I think we have to think about sharing information with each other on how do we survive this and where do we go from here, right? Because a dream can't happen without a plan to achieve it, to manifest it. You know, I spoke about that in my book. I speak about that in my book in the present tense, Dream So Big. And it's about how your thoughts, words, and actions create, you know, your reality. And the thoughts, words, and action of the collective of society creates the world's reality. There's two realities, right? Yours and the world's. Okay? And all of these realities are the collection, or the single collection, but the collection of everyone, what they're saying, what they're thinking, what they're saying, and what they're doing. Change the mechanism, right? Change the input, you will change the output. So to me, it just seems that that's good information someone sent about, you know, in your back. It's now becoming spring, summer. You can grow your tomatoes. I think you can grow some collard greens, you know, your watermelon, your squash, your whatever. Save your money at the market. Although, yes, it's convenient, right? But it can save you money. And you can go on YouTube about that. Find out everything you need to know to be able to do that. And I think that's great. And if you have an oversupply, then to be able to share that bounty with others. I remember my father used to tell me stories about how back in the day, my mother had their own farm. She was one of the many African Americans whose family had the 40 acres and a mule. My grandfather came from slavery, right? His father was in slavery, whatever. And so the master gave him 40 acres and a mule. Isn't that beautiful? The 40 acres and a mule. I ain't feeling the other part. Right? Yeah, I told you how I feel about that. But anyway, that was a good thing. And used to say how when they farmed their own food, when they had an abundance, they would take the abundance and put it out on the side of the street. Another story I'm about to tell you, right? They would put it out on the side of the street, and people who needed food would come by and get what they needed. They didn't get everything because they had the concept and consciousness of there's others that are in need. And they didn't need no dogs. They didn't need no armed guard on the produce that was on the side of the street, because it was an understanding, a community understanding of it's about sharing and it's about looking out for the next person. I think maybe perhaps we need to get back doing that. There's nothing wrong going back to how we used to be in certain things. Technology is great. It's great, but I think it made a lot more sense back in the day. Now, I don't do red meat. I definitely don't do the pig. It's just me personally. But the reason I don't do the chicken either. The reason that I don't is because not that because that red meat is, if it was natural, it'd kill me. It's that it's very carcinogenic now because of the things they put in it, right? The things they do to the cows to keep producing that milk, cows' teats be just pus full, scabbing, this, and they just keep them locked up, and just so that they can feed our insatiable appetite for red meat. However, the red meat becomes tainted. When the government tells you that eating red meat is just like smoking cigarettes, you got to think about that. Why? Because it's carcinogenic. Why? Because it's the stuff they pump in these things with that we're feeding to ourselves and to our children. Now, I know there are many out there that say, I don't care what they do, I'm still going to do it. And you know what? You go right ahead. I ain't judging you, But I think that perhaps you might want to think about your children, and hey, Ann Bryant, you might want to think about your children or your grandchildren when you make that decision for yourself. And then perhaps say, you know what, I'm going to do it. But for my children, I'm going to make sure that they eat right, good, because they're still growing. Your old ass is getting old. You know what I'm saying? You about to go. So enjoy yourself. But for the next generation, let's be smart with them. Now, I'd like to apologize because I was making a statement the other day, a point. Hey, Latrice, love you, girl. And I got you telling you something I look like Santa Claus. Now, used to cut my hair, Latrice, and I ain't got a barber now because Barbara gone in the house. So I appreciate you not make fun of my look. Okay? Let us be more sensitive to others. Love you too, baby. Listen, I want to apologize because I had spoke about how people are going into the store buying the wrong thing, whatever, and not really taking in consideration, or definitely don't want to feel as though I'm trying to put a guilt trip, because I know it's difficult and money is, and you're trying to get as much as you can. I get that. I understand. All right. And, but I say this. Yes, you're trying to save money, and buying good food or whatever is expensive. All right. But let me tell you how it works out. Look, the price you pay for buying good food has greater dividends for you in the future than buying the cheap potato chips, the sugary sodas, this and that, and this and that, in the short term, because the dividends for buying those type of foods in the long term is going to hurt you. Okay? So we have to think about the food that we buy and consume is an investment in our health. Thusly, also an investment in our future. Okay? And because if you do have children, you do want to be around to see these children grow up and have a life of their own, and children and so forth like that. And so, we want to be able to think about that. Now, you say to yourself, yeah, Chris, that's all right. You got all... No, I don't have all that. But what I do have is knowledge. What I do have is wisdom. What I do have is an understanding that I want to protect myself, and from whatever's out here and whatever will continue to be out here, is to make sure that I'm as healthy as I can be, to be able to then to share, if I do have some knowledge or wisdom, to future generations, or to have, with future videos and so forth, to be able to help others. And that's what I want to be able to do. So how do you do this? Well, Well, let's think about it. Number one, you don't have to eat all the time. You don't have to eat all the time. Your body, if you listen to your body, if you're in tune with your body, if your body is healthy, your body tells you everything you need to know. It does with me, and more so than ever before. It tells you what you need. It says, well, I'm hungry, right? And so when the body says I miss you too, Latrice. When your body is telling you it misses you, it gives you signs, grumbling stomach, slight little headache, whatever. Means now your body telling you we've used up a lot of the vitamin and minerals to keep you energized, and we need to replenish these vitamins and minerals. And so that's the body saying, so that we can stay moving and stay healthy, and the immune system is being strong and so forth like that. This is real, okay? You don't need to be a doctor to understand, or for me to be able to tell you this. I don't want anybody to be like, man, you can't be giving out information. I don't understand that. But anyway, so you don't have to eat all the time, okay? Eat when you're hungry. Now, I eat one time a day, and if I do snack on something, it's citrus, it's fruit, or some nuts or something like that. Now, what that does is that obviously saves on the grocery bill, okay? And so if you replace, let's say, your breakfast with maybe, some fruit, okay, for lunch, maybe you bought enough greens, maybe, perhaps to have a salad, or even if you're hungry. And then around about 2, 3, 4 o'clock, have you something to eat, and make sure obviously that it's balanced. You got your greens, and I prefer fish, or some beans or some grain, right? And then that's it. Then after 6 o'clock, don't wait. Just you can get through the night until the next day. Now you can imagine if you're under this type of schedule, which I put a lot of my clients under. Number one, you're going to lose a lot of weight. Number two, you're going to save on your grocery bill, right? You're going to save on your grocery bill. And number three, you will be ingesting nutrients that your real body needs, right? Now, the cheap stuff is processed and artificial foods. Thus, why I was saying the dividends don't pay very well with that, okay? And what I like for you to do also, appreciate it, Zach. What I also want to say is that you want to get all the white out of your diet. The bread, the bleached stuff, the white rice. You want to stick to colored. You want to stick with the colors. I'm saying foods that are bright in color. Red peppers, green peppers, nice tones. Brown rice, quinoa, you know what I mean? You want oily fish, herring, salmon, sardines, okay? Just for the interim, until while we're in what we're doing, because number one, you want to be able to save money, right? And, it's getting expensive, but it's okay. That's okay. Just think about it. And then you want to be able to get out and walk around the block every day. I come to the park. I'm going to do a couple of laps just to keep the blood going. Know what I mean? That's NAWMEEN. Know what I mean? Being conscious what's going in, and being conscious what am I doing physically. Okay? So, yes, I'm going to talk about that. I don't know what else I need to be talking about in this time. I think that the most important thing for us to be talking to each other is, how we doing, fam? How you doing? How you feeling? What you eating? You need anything? And so forth. Right now, that's what we need to do. And I think that this plan that I'm telling you is what I tell my clients that lose 30 pounds, 35, 40 pounds, in 90 days. My 90-day challenge. That's the minimum of weight being lost. It's easy. It's not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. It's really easy. I know everybody have a plethora of plans of this and that and this and that, but the simplicity of it is what's important. No whites, real food, and exercise. Okay? Now, also in the news, what's on the rise is alcoholism, right? People at home, I see posts where people chilling, they show their feet, and then across from their feet, they about 16 bottles of gin, brown whiskey, and so forth, and wine, and they talking in a big piece of box, and they say, you know what? It's on. It may be on, okay, but by the time we come up out of here, because we don't know how long, you may be an alcoholic. All right, and then if you're doing this with your partner that's in there, whatever, what else is on the rise is domestic violence, because it's on, and the next thing you know, you're hitting each other upside the head with the bottle. All right, you drink the bottle. You don't do it with the stuff in the bottle. Make sure, for some reason, it seems like the violence is after the bottle is empty. You have enough sense for that, and then pop it. It goes like that. I'm joking in terms of making light of it. However, it is a reality, and they're seeing the rise of this, and we don't want that to happen because, see, you hit mama in the head with the bottle. Let me tell you what's going to go down. You hit mama in the head with the bottle. Mama then perhaps hits you back in the head with the bottle. Mama called the police. When the police come and see you with cracked to the white meat on your forehead from the bottle, and they see her head cracked to the white meat on her forehead, they gonna believe her. Okay? And your ass is gonna go to jail. Now, when you go to jail, right, number one, you got a record. Number two, now that you're in the system, they might just say, hey, we gonna put your ass out in the field to pick the taters and pick the watermelon and so forth. We gonna bring the chain gang back. All because you up in the house and you drinking and becoming unconscious of what your actions are, and now you in jail. Now, how does that help you? How does that help mama? And how does that help the children? Because now the children are saying, where's daddy? Daddy's in jail. Why is daddy in jail, mama? Daddy cracked your mama in the forehead to the... And now the baby said, we was already struggling. That's true. Now, not only that, if your ass go to jail, presently, now the corona has started to infiltrate the jails, right? So now everybody is under mandatory lockdown because the corona now has infected the jails. Now, for my brothers and sisters, unfortunately, the system is not fair, right? You see, Weinstein is asking to get out. Manafort is asking to get out. They're letting people out because of the corona. Already, there's a disproportionate amount of us in there, and I'll be interested to see who gets to go home because of the corona. I don't know. They have that on the docket, but I wouldn't that it'd be you if you do that, because again, it's a great way to get free labor, though, isn't it? If you think about it, if you're doing time, it's a great way for them to now to get those taters picked. All right, so we want to stay out of the system. Okay, we want to be able to think about while we're in the home how to maintain our health. All right, and then instead of being violent, be perhaps becoming more loving and more appreciative of the partner that you're with. Now you have a chance now to sit down, talk about things in a way that you might want to resolve old situations, old things that happen. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Now's the time to sit down and say, honey, look, because if you're out there cheating, that ain't cool, right? That ain't cool, because you catch the corona and some other things, whilst happening, whilst you doing your nasty, and that you can bring back to mom, which we don't want to do. So at this particular point, I think we can strengthen the bonds of our relationships with our partners. Now's the time I think we can do that, and why not? Why not? Let's love, man. Let's love. So we see that happening. Also, not also, and as I was speaking before, to be conscious now of each other. If you do go to the store, don't touch us by everything. Not everything. I mean, everything. There's a difference. Everything is like everything. Everything is the whole damn thing. You know what I mean? So it's not necessary for you to go out there and leave a little bit for others. And so it gives them times to restock and resupply and so forth like that. I went into the store trying to get some, a little alcohol or whatever. Can't find it. Thank God I found a mask, one of my boxes and stuff. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. So I have that. Okay. So, yes, and a lot of them don't believe we can get it or can die from it. That is correct, Michelle. And Zachary, and they don't always give a bond for domestic violence. That's what I'm talking about, Zach. That's what I'm talking about. And somebody going to jail. Damn, Latrice, I hear you, girl. Vermeil Kid, what's happening? Yeah, so this is a time not to become unconscious. Now is the time to wake up, stand up, and make correct decisions for yourself. And also a chance for you to find some peace. Okay? Some peace, man. To meditate, to reflect on, giving enough time. Me, I'm with it too. Now, I'm so much into my thoughts and thinking about, just past things, how I want to be better in the future, whatever. Having constructive thoughts, creative thoughts. What am I building? What am I creating for myself when it pertains to the new world right now? How do I impact it with what I'm doing? Now, of course, I have a CD right now. Inbox me or email me, whatever the case may be. People are finding it very peaceful, finding a place where they're centering, and their thoughts are calm. You've seen some of the reviews, which absolutely warms my heart. And working with others, okay, working with others to be able to create that commerce. Now, I keep talking about that, right? I don't think y'all listen. See, I don't think y'all listening, because I believe if you're listening, I would be getting replies like, hey, Chris, how do we do that? Hey, Chris, I got this and I got that and I got this. How do we make that happen? You have the ability to do that by inboxing me. I've got a wonderful partner, Paul Gonzalez, out of LA, that's creating a program and programs that are going to be able to promote people's services and products to millions of people, online and so forth like that. Hit me up in my inbox. I'll be glad to turn you on to them, or look them up on Facebook, Paul, Paul Gonzalez, Gonza, Gonzalez, ES. Okay? It's worth a talk. I think it's a great idea. You do your due diligence, and when you talk to him, he's very open, and will give you an understanding about what that is. I have a young lady that I'm partnering with, Yamaya Faye. She's doing my CD cover. You'll be seeing that soon, and she herself has a wonderful, wonderful meditation CD that I will be putting on my site, my YouTube channel, so that you can take a listen to it, and because having peace within you is just important as having good nutrition, because stress will kill your ass, and right now we're inundated with all this stress coming on us, stress no matter what, corona, death, body bag, vaccine, don't take the vaccine to kill you, we don't, just crazy, so much going on. So what we have to do is to find some peace, and find those tools that allow us to be able to obtain that peace. Like I said before, you can inbox me if you're interested in my CD. I will be putting up Yamaya's stuff. Yamaya Faye, she's from Spain. She's in Spain, and which is good. You know, she's going to be designing my thing. This reciprocity. You know what I mean? So when you get a chance to see the final work, which I'll be showing soon, you know, if you want something for yourself, obviously, you know, contact her. Reciprocity. They make things happen, you know. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Like I said before, they're giving the warning about the food supply, that the coronavirus now has infiltrated these immigrants who pick our food, and they're getting sick, and they don't have any insurance, and afraid to go to the hospital because they're afraid they may get. So what does that do? That's going to jeopardize our food supply. Just having you to keep your eyes open, ears open, and know and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? If the people that are privileged to have homes, please think about creating a place in your backyard where you can grow your favorites, your collard greens, your spinach, your tomatoes, your squash, your beans. You know, this is real now. I mean, and then really, how expensive are seeds, right? How expensive are seeds? Will it take a little work? Yeah, it's going to take a little work. But what the hell else is you doing anyway? You in the house, right? If you're in the house, you're so-called supposed to be bored and not having anything to do. This is something constructive. This is something good that you can do with the family. Hey, y'all, let's grow a garden for this season. A pack of seeds can grow a lot of food. And by growing a lot of food, you'll save a lot of money at the grocery store and take some of the burden off of these suppliers that are, you know. Now, in a way, I think it hurts them because it, again, makes the demand low. But listen, if you've lost your job, I'm talking about those that have lost their job and that grocery bill is extremely high and they do want to eat well, this is just an alternative, okay? Like I say, I like to give solutions instead of always talking about the problem. You know, a lot of times we always have meetings. Every time I look around, I'm in a meeting. But then I say, well, what did you achieve in the meeting? We didn't get it right yet. But tomorrow we're going to have another meeting, and we're going to try it again. You know, I don't attend many meetings because I don't want to go to a meeting and I'm not solving the problem. You know, we're just sitting up eating some fried chicken and talking, and how much more coleslaw can I get with my dog? I need my slaw dog to be full of the slaw. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that all meetings are like that. I'm not just saying. Just the ones I just know that we have a tendency to have a lot of meetings, and then we eat after that, which is good, you know. But let us solve some problems. And we can do that by everybody chipping in. Remember, collectively talking about letting our conversation be about how we solve our problems together. That's the only thing I think that we really need to be talking about right now. Sure, you want the entertainment factor. That's why we have Netflix and so forth. But as far as us together and collectively having conscious talks, you know, so that we don't fall into a sedentary lifestyle. And then we start drinking and smoking and this and this and this and this and this. And then when it finally opens up, what have you achieved? I don't want us to be in that position. I want us to be, when we do come out of this, we've created a system or plan that will benefit us all economically and for our health. Does that make sense? I'm serious. If it don't make sense, y'all tell me it don't make sense, you know. But I think that it does. And I think that, especially at my age right now, it's nothing. I see a lot of time on the post, like, I got a big booty or I got a big winky, and how y'all doing with your winky and stuff like that. I think that's okay if we're talking about the booties and the winkies, I suppose. But I don't know if how big the booty is or how big the winky wank is going to help us during these times. I just no, wait a minute, that's not true. The winky and the big booty can help at night if you're with your loved one. Rickety, rickety, rickety. Reconnect. Let's just not like this post. Let's enact some of these things I talked about. Inbox me again if you're interested in my CD. Glad to be able to download it to you immediately. I'm going to be having other people there, so that I'm going to want you to be able to download yourself. Inbox me if you got some stuff. Working together, people, working together. As always, I love you. One human being to another, male, female, it's got nothing to do with, don't be phobic. Well, because I tell you I love you, and don't take it any other way other than the fact that it's one human being to another. I love you, man. We're on this earth. We share more in common than we do what we don't. So because of that, I love you. And always remember, you're going to be all right. Man, this ride and journey that we really have is for eternity, man. People just don't understand that. Just because you go away or transition and you think it's over, it isn't. It keeps right on riding, man, through the dimensions and through the dimensions. And with that, I'm sure we've met along the way. We'll meet again, and perhaps in another form, whatever the case may be. We're souls riding the light. And I love you, man. And like I said, as always, you're going to be all right.